Bro, this is the greatest show in the history of shows.
We brought
Oh my god.
Bro, baby, shake it. Let's go. Let's go with that.
Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should.
When I was a little boy, growing up, I remember the old saying, girls are made of sugar and spice, and everything nice. Boys are made of snakes and snares, and puppy dog tails. But what I couldn't understand is why girls were even made at all. Until God gave me you.
Yeah. Did you get vaccinated?
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. Beyonce.
Stop. Carry on.
Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Hold up.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Oh my God, y'all, this is too much. I am watching this address to the Joint Congress. Let me tell you guys. Oh my God, y'all, this is. Oh my God, y'all, this is too much. I am watching this address to the Joint Congress. Let me tell you guys something. The Democrats, if you are a Democrat, you should be so embarrassed. They're acting like little bitty kids. Like they all got an attitude. They had to kick Al Green out because he running there shaking the stick. Nancy Pelosi slobbering on herself. Hakeem Jeffrey sitting over there. And did you see Jasmine Crocker when Al Green got kicked out? She sit down like, I don't think I should do it now. You should not. They all over there holding up signs, somehow false and Elon and all of this. They are so embarrassing. I wouldn't want to be a Democrat, but you know what this does? It lets me know that I'm on the right side because everything that man is saying is good for America. And now you see who does not want America to prosper. You see who does not care about America. Them Democrats sitting over there with an attitude. I'm sick of them. Oh my God, they're embarrassing. I couldn't be called a Democrat. No way. They look like old, brittle, demonic demons. They look like gremlins, just bitter bigots. They just look like their life sucks. Their life sucks. They look unhappy. I wouldn't want to be married to none of them, honestly. They look like they are unhappy. They are just terrible in a relationship. Like they frown up at everything. You can't be yourself, can't have no fun. They're bullies. They suck. I am so glad Trump is back in office. Because look at the leadership. This is rate the leadership. I'm going to give them a thumbs down. Can we fire all of them? They don't even want to collaborate with the president. That's supposed to be in leadership, collaboration. They don't even want to do that. They don't even care that things are going good. Did you hear the stuff that he was listing that they found?
I heard it. Did you hear
with the waste? And I'm glad he called Stacey Abrams out too. But I'm sick of black Democrats. You know what? Y'all taking the fall. You got them white Democrats and put y'all up in the front for y'all to take the fall. Now y'all looking stupid and ignorant. I'm glad they put Al Green's old funky behind out. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of all these old bigots. Go America.
Go America. Go America. Shout out to her. Whoever she is. Shout out to her. You know, I have been enjoying today. I have been enjoying it. You know, last night, you know, things, you know, we were live covering the address that with Congress. And some things upset me. I didn't like it. You know, it was a lot of things I didn't like. Now, we're going to be going through a series, a whole entire host of the aftermath. This is the aftermath. The aftermath. And of course, I am but a Negro. That's it. I'm but a Negro. And so a lot of my energy and a lot of the clips that you see tonight that we will be covering, yes, it will have something to do with the Negro. There were a lot of beautiful moments last night. And if I'm being honest with you, what Trump did last night, his speech last night, was the best speech, talk, whatever you want to call it, that he has ever done, in my opinion. This is me. Trump outdid himself last night. And listen, I have to tip my hat to him. I'm proud of him. But who didn't do good last night? Well, who didn't? The Democrats. The Democrats. I think that they overplayed their hand. Give me. Yeah, they're still doing this. I want to apologize to you guys. I want to say this really quick before I continue on with the show. You guys are going to have to let me know. Because StreamYard is currently updating at the moment. That it's updating. We have something called Scenes Beta now, and they're still doing updates. And the expectation is about 72 more hours of updates. So I have to ask you guys for help. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a panel tonight. I'm going to try to make this quick. I just want to make sure that I cover all of the news of today while we are actually in the news cycle. But with StreamYard today, I guess due to their update, whenever we show videos, you guys may not see them. You may not be able to see me on the screen. You may be able to hear me. You may be able to see the video, but hear nothing. So what I would like to do is ask all of you wonderful people out there listening to just type it in the chat. Let me know. Portia, we can't hear you. We can't see you. We can't see no video. Just let me know so I can make sure that I am running a good show. That's all I can ask. We have Tropes in the building. Oh yeah, Tropes. So earlier I was muted and I wasn't set to talk, but hopefully you can hear me now. Tropes, let me know if I sound good, if I'm like cracking or if I sound crazy or anything like that. But yeah, I was muted. I was just playing the videos for the intro to allow folks to come in. But I'm glad you guys can hear me now. Shout out to you, Tropes. Tropes is such a wonderful gift. Sometimes things happen to us in life and God sends us people that we don't necessarily always ask for, and sometimes we do, but no matter how it goes, God always sends you a Tropes who's there no matter what, whether he's present in the chat or not. He's always listening and he's always using his gifts. And I am so appreciative of Tropes. He really relieves a lot of things for me. I ain't gonna lie, he does. But he is absolutely talented. I have dropped his link in the chat. Y'all go follow Tropes. He's not one to play with. Shout out to Tropes. We also have Brian Nichols in the building. Salute to you, Brian. Hello. Hi. Welcome in. So we're going to get back into it. We covered this last night. And tonight, I hope to not keep you too long. I'm going to try to pull a John Galt. And not go so long. Like I said, a panel, we might have one, we might not. I just want to go ahead and run through the news while we are wanting to stay within the news cycle. So we covered last night Trump, not a State of the Union, but might as well have been something like it. And the Democrats acted a whole plumb fool last night. Very disappointing. And last night was a layup. That was a gimme. But even in the midst of that gimme, they still managed to fail. Not just fail at whatever botched attempt that they thought they were going to amass in that moment, they failed the country. They also failed their voters. Those of you that are here, if you know me or if you don't, you know I've never voted Democrat a day in my whole Black life. And I'm proud of that. Never have, never will. Never have, never will. But moments like last night were a surefire reminder as to why I was raised as I was, and I've never voted that way. We are going to get into a multitude of reactions, the aftermath of what took place last night. However, what I will focus on tonight the most is going to be DJ, little DJ, the brain cancer, little DJ. I haven't let that go yet. Y'all know last night I was, I couldn't shake it last night, and I can't shake it right now. I can't shake it right now. So as it goes, the title is Death to the Democrat Party. The mistake of ignoring citizens and abandoning American patriotism. If you needed any help, if you didn't know last night, I don't know what else you need. Which is why I have told you guys again, if it's your first time in and you're not familiar with me, we are at the Urban Landlord. We do have 5 hosts. Shout out to all of our hosts. We have the top dog, John Galt. You're on with John Galt. That's the Urban Landlord. We have HB2N, my beloved, my love. That shout out to you. Oh my gosh, I just love that guy. I do. He's so great. I mean, he's gone trucking. Yes, and he is live in the mornings. You have Stanley versus the world. Boy, I love Stanley. He is the best. I know everybody doesn't understand Stanley and always get his personality and everything, but if you take the time to get to know and understand Stanley, he is going to be one of the very best human beings you've ever met in your life. And it's a privilege to know him. It's a privilege to know him. We also have the #1 Asian in the universe. Get Crack for me. Shout out to Crack. Crack is also live right now with stock tips. You know Asians. They always keep everyone else in America on track. Shout out to Crack. And then you have me here with Politicking with Portia. We have 5 hosts. We have 5 different segments. And sometimes you guys might catch us all coming together. And don't you guys know, we know that whenever all 5 hosts are on the panel together, how much you guys love that. And we are working to make sure that we have that dynamic again soon for you all. But you are here tonight with Politicking with Portia. And for me, my segment, I just like to talk about politics and stuff and whatever topics that are, trending or not. I like to do a deep dive, a breakdown. I like to try to teach you guys something. Tell you something you might not know. So again, I thank you guys for being here. And I'm still offended. And I was contemplating on whether or not I was going to go live tonight, but here I am, and I want us to cover these reactions. So we're going to hop back into it, and we're just going to let it rock. We're going to let it rock. So let's get back into it. I can tell you again, if I haven't said it already, because I can't remember because I'm sleepy. It's late. It's 11 o'clock. In Texas, I should be in the bed, but I'm like, I gotta do it. So if I repeat myself, I do apologize. Again, for those of you that are coming and leaving, if my audio is off, or if you cannot see the video on the screen because StreamYard is in the update phase, and the email that I got today said 72 hours. So if you guys cannot see that video on the screen, let me know in the chat. If you cannot hear me, or if I go away, let me know, because I won't know on StreamYard, because to me it'll seem like everything is fine, but you in the audience, you guys will be able to make sure that I am not disappointing you and letting you guys down. But let's get into some more Negro responses. Black History Month may be over, but it's Black History Month for me every day. Shout out to all my Negroes. Let's get back into it.
Baby, fuck you. You hear me? Baby, fuck you. Okay. Baby, fuck you. You hear me? Baby,
do you feel better?
Fuck you.
Is she okay? Is she gonna make it?
Okay. Baby, fuck you. You hear me? Baby,
I hope that she makes it. She's saying a big F you to the Democrat Party. I hope.
Baby, me and Vice President J.D. Vance was on this.
Is hope that she'll be okay and that she makes it, because for whatever reason, you know, we have the whole quote unquote, you know, Black Twitter and things, or Black X. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have a lot of faith in the majority of Black America. I do not. And if you would have asked me last election cycle what I thought of social media and its impact on elections, I would have told you something totally different. Whenever I first got involved and I got active within the party here in the great state of Texas, the grand old party, the GOP, the Republican Party, I came in hot, ready to go. And I was like, yeah, I don't have social media, right? But like, I feel like it would have a huge advantage. And I had to learn, if you would say so, the hard way. No, phone banking and block walking is always going to be your very best bet, no matter what. People have this thing where they remember faces and interactions, and those last far longer than a video that they see on social media for a few seconds, and then they move on to the next thing. And again, it took for me to experience that and have to go through that to understand that. But something happened. Shout out to Elon Musk. Something happened. And while I still do believe that the groundwork that you do has a stronger impact, a greater impact, I am going to now have to say and admit that what's going on in the social media space and the interwebs, it is having an impact, especially on the Negroes, okay? Especially on the Negroes, for me, okay? You have your opinions, I have mine. But the one thing that I've loved seeing the most since Donald J. Trump won for the third time is the response and the reactions of Black people. And Black women more than anything else, because, you know, Black women, you know, sometimes they need a little push, they need a little shove, or sometimes you just have to leave them alone completely until they come to this place all on their own. And gosh, I just feel so good watching it. And so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going through that. It's not going to just be Black folks tonight, but I just need you guys to know. Seeing Black women, I guess we'll use their words, wake up. It's high tide and noonday. I felt like Black women down south, we've been holding the fort for a long time, okay? And it's nice to see more Black women all across the United States of America finally see that the Democratic Party is not for you. The left is not for you. It's never been for you. It's always been against you. And if you had your doubts, I hope that last night opened your eyes up a bit more than they were before. And that you keep going. Don't stop. And don't just allow social media to be your marker for history and understanding. Go and buy some books. Go and read something. Delve deeper into the history of the Black conservative, the Black Republican. And more than anything else, even for all you Negroes out there listening right now, I encourage you guys to dive into Frederick Douglass. I refer to myself as a Frederick Douglass Republican. And I mean, what much negative can you say about Frederick Douglass? I mean, are you going to call him a coon too? Are you going to call him a coon also? Whenever it comes down to the Emancipation Proclamation there with old Abraham Lincoln there, and the creation of this document and the words written in said document with the influence of those like the great Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass says, "I am a Republican, a Black dyed-in-the-wool Republican, and I never intend to belong to any other party than the party of freedom and progress." It's my favorite quote from Frederick Douglass. I can't shake it. I just can't. I never intend to belong to any other party than the party of freedom and progress. That's what the Republican Party is. I mean, it just quite literally, to me, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, am I all in line and in agreement with everything that the Republicans do? No. Do I follow all of their metrics? No. But whenever I go and cast my vote, you better believe it's going to be for the Republican Party, because I cannot myself in good conscience and in good faith vote for the very party that sought to make sure that people that look like me could never thrive in this nation. And if you ask me, I don't care how much they say, oh, the parties, they switched. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. The Democrats do a fine job in making sure that we, the Negro, know our place, that we're not capable of being better than good enough without the help of the white, but that we should just be beggars, victims, I can't get down with that. So again, shout out to all of you Negroes out there that are coming to the light. I hope you continue to come to the light. And if you don't come to the light, just do me a favor and don't vote at all. Just don't vote at all. I mean, I'd appreciate that more. So let's hear from this sister.
Baby, me and Vice President JD Vance was on the same page last night, because the way I was yelling at that TV and the way JD Vance was up there yelling at that TV, get him the fuck out. Who is he? Get him the fuck out. Let me tell y'all who this man was and why he claimed to have been behaving the way he was behaving.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
That there elderly cat daddy was Congressman Al Green. Now, just like most deranged Democrats, he was a rebel without a fucking cause, because the cause he was trying so hard to fight for was Medicaid and Social Security.
So you're standing there, you're yelling at the president. What were you saying? hanged him. I was telling him that he does not have a mandate to cut Medicaid.
Guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question. Okay? This will not be read my lips. It won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud.
Go fight your colleagues that are getting the kickbacks and that are stealing the money from Social Security. Go fight them. Go fight whoever that payment is going to for that 150-year-old person that's on Social Security. Go fight them. Now, here's T. Had Kamala or any other Democrat got in office, Medicaid would have ended in 2033. But common sense would have told Mr. Al Green that if Trump and Doge and Elon Musk are doing an audit and they're finding people on Social Security at the age of 230 or 310 or whatever the fuck age it was, these ridiculous ages that our countries didn't even exist, that Trump is trying to save it by removing this type of fraudulent activity. Duh.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but if it's something they don't want you to know, you know, they'll do their damnness to ensure that we don't. And listen, if you're a citizen here in America and you're paying taxes, you already know what time it is. I don't care about nothing else. I don't want my money to be wasted on stupid stuff. As Trump mentioned last night. But again, as I said, more people are coming to a place to where they're like, I think I'm okay with that. And I am okay with them not being okay with that. You know, I've never been okay with it, but you know, who's to say that hey, the door is open. I mean, shout out to Virgo out there. I've told Virgo this before on the panel, in the chat, and in our private conversations, and Virgo made the change today. She got an iPhone. Yes, an iPhone. Yes. And I'm proud of her for doing that. It is such a big change. Virgo, if you're listening, I hope that you didn't return it. I hope that you kept it, even though you couldn't figure it out earlier. But you know what? If you just give it 72 hours, Virgo, you'll realize that you made the right choice. Just like you made the right choice to vote for Trump. So this looks like a Hispanic right here, you know, a brown person. Let's see what he has to say.
I got a quick question to all you motherfucking Democrats, especially those of you in the black community, the brown community, who sit here and say that Republicans don't give a shit about minorities. Last night, when President Trump was doing his damn thing, giving all kinds of love to that 13-year-old kid, DJ Daniels, what did the Democrat Party do? They sat on their ass. This 13-year-old kid fought every single fucking day. He didn't give up. He stayed in the fucking fight. And last night is probably the highest honor of his life. And the Democrat Party couldn't show him no love. If y'all don't shut the fuck up with your stupid shit and wake the fuck up, because the Democrat Party don't give a shit about you. But they got you convinced. Out here regurgitating the same stupid fucking talking points from the Democrat Party that Republicans and MAGA don't care about you. They literally showed you to your motherfucking face they don't give a fuck about you.
I mean, honestly, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that sentiment. That is the truth. They don't care. They don't. And beyond any other moment that they had, I mean, last night was a layup. They could have just took it, but they couldn't. They ended up fumbling the bag, as it were, as it always is. You know, it just wasn't a good look. And you know, this Hakeem Jeffries, he came out, you know, and he had a lot of things to say. So we're going to listen to a bit of this. We're not going to listen to all of this, but as always, guys, if you want to listen to these things in full on your own, the description box, you'll be able to find the links. The YouTube links, you'll be able to tap them automatically, but for those links that are not YouTube friendly, you can copy and paste them. So let's see what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. Just a few minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. To begin with, it is with a heavy heart that we gather here today, having received the news that our dear colleague and a tremendous public servant, the Honorable Sylvester Turner, passed away tragically and unexpectedly. He was a powerful, profound, principled public servant who was beloved in his hometown of Houston, served his hometown in the state legislature as mayor, and over the last few months as a member of Congress. And he was a champion for all that we stand here today to protect. So I thought it appropriate that we just begin with a brief moment of silence.
A moment of silence. More than anything else, I'd like to let you guys know, y'all know me. I'm a Texan, proud Texan, and Texan, Texas. Sheila Jackson Lee. I don't know if we remember her at all, but Sheila Jackson Lee, she was the one Black Congress member who then ran, after her time in Congress, because she lost and everything, she decides to go ahead and run for mayor. Of course, she lost, but there was someone that replaced her. And just in case you guys forgot and don't remember, we want to make sure we do right by y'all and refresh your memory. Here we have Miss Sheila Jackson Lee.
You took a piece of paper from that woman regarding something that was over at Duncan Tail. Where is it? What date was it?
Oh, from yesterday. Jerome took it upstairs. I have to call him. He took it up when I switched out the pictures. I'll call him as soon as he gets here.
I don't want you to do a goddamn thing. I want you to have a fucking brain. I want you to have read it. I want you to say, Congresswoman, it was such and such date. That's what I want. That's the kind of staff that I want to have. So some stupid other motherfucker did it, and I don't have the information. Nobody sent me the information. I need to ensure my schedule. And if Boo Boo did it, shit ass did it, fuckface did it, and nobody knows a goddamn thing in my office. Okay, nothing. I gave it to you. Your job was to get it on the calendar, imprint it in your brain, or send me the information back saying, Congresswoman, I made sure that the Ovi Duncan Tell event that you gave me for so-and-so date at 7 is on the fucking calendar. Not to, Jerome has it. Okay? So when I called Jerome, he told me sitting up there like a fat ass, just an idiot, talking about what the fuck he doesn't know. Okay? Both of y'all are fuck up a fucking F. It's the worst shit that I could have ever had put together. Two goddamn big ass children. Fucking idiots. Serve no goddamn purpose.
Not the worst shit that you could have ever put together. Sheila. Come on, Sheila. You didn't have to do him like that. The worst shit you've ever put together. Sheila.
Ain't managing nobody. Nobody's respecting them. Nobody gives a shit about what you're doing. And you ain't doing shit. And this is an example of it. I gave it to Jerome. This is not child's work. Okay?
Wow. Whew. Sheila. Whoa. Ooh, that was pretty intense. This comes at the heels of, before her death, she passed away July 19th, 2024. 2024. The Lord called her home. May she rest in peace. May she rest in peace. And so during that time, after her death, someone stepped in, and that someone was Sylvester Turner that stepped in. Now, she was a congresswoman for all those years, but she was running for mayor, the Democrat seat. And this is, of course, before the midterms and all of those good things. And here in Texas, we have our partisan voting at the top of the year, and then at the bottom during a presidential election year. We then vote for those who made it through the partisan vote. So Sheila, she had made it thus far, but of course no one was expecting for, I mean, nobody was expecting her to croak over. She was sick. She did have an illness. But you know, whenever God says it's time to call you home, you know, it might be time to call you home. Now, there was someone, again, Sylvester Turner, who took her seat and represented for his party, the Democrat Party in Houston. And you know, Houston is what it is, and Houston will do and be what Houston does in bees. Okay, so here we have Mr. Sylvester. He steps into the fray and he ends up winning that position in the primary. However, unfortunately,
as city leaders here in the city of Houston announced formally that the former mayor of Houston and current congressman representing
please forgive me, but humble. Shout out to humble. And we also have Trump 2024 in the building, but humble. The upper room. Yes, the upper room. Sheila found herself there, and her replacement, he did too. Let's keep going.
a portion of Houston, Sylvester Turner, has died at the age of 70, a longtime mayor here in the city, beloved here in the city. Obviously, you're hearing there where Mayor John Whitmire calling him a friend. And referencing obviously his long time of service, a lifetime of service here in the city, serving, and obviously such a major pivotal part of the city, born and raised right here in Houston, as I say, on the north side. He represents Acres Homes loud and proud.
Oh, he sure did.
And such a major loss for H-Town.
Yeah, it is a tough loss for the city. You know, he's a father and grandfather. And as we know, we learned in 2022 that he was battling a rare bone cancer. But then he also revealed that he was cancer-free, you know, when he told us about that diagnosis. But we want to take a moment now to just take a look back at the work and everything he did here in the city.
Sylvester Turner has been a Houstonian since day one. He was born on September 27, 1954, in the Acres Homes community in Northwest Houston. He was one of 9 children raised in a modest 2-bedroom home in the community.
For civil rights.
He lost his father to cancer when he was just 13 years old. With limited means, he didn't let his circumstances define his future. He was senior class president and valedictorian at Klein High School. He later went to University of Houston.
I was class president too, Sylvester. Me too. I think I talked about that last night, and I know I've talked about it before. I was class president too. It was a long road. All right. Long road. But I made it through. History. Actually, at my high school, because I was the first ever in the history of the foundation of my school. I was the first Black class president. Can you believe that? I was the first Black parliamentarian of student council and the first Black class president. You know, in the 9th grade, you trying to make a name for yourself. I was also in band, and you know, you got band camp, you get inducted. I know a lot of people say, oh, band, you know, losers, it's lame, this and that. You say what you want. Say what you want. I had to make a way out of no way, you know, and I had to prove myself. And so, you know, oftentimes whenever you're conversing with Black Democrats, and they like to call us coons and Uncle Toms, this, that, and the third, you know, it's not my fault that my parents are from the HOOD for sure. I have nothing to do with that. But I have everything to do with me, my brother, and my sister. We have everything to do with what our parents chose to do differently because of where they were from. We talked about G dollar sign or G money, Lil Ronnie, Highland Hills, Stop 6, Eastwood, Southside, Forest Hill. Both of my parents grew up in those places. Of course, it was one of those places. I'm not just going to tell you directly. However, my parents decided to do something different. My dad said, hey, I'm going to go to the military. My dad, he's a big dude, big guy. My dad, he's a big guy. He's like a 6'5" or something like that. My mom, she's a little lady. My dad decided to go off to the military, and my mother, she actually went off to school and to medical school, and she became a doctor. Yeah, she did that. And by the grace of God, they found each other as they did. And they had already decided that, hey, absolutely not. Yeah, no, we're not raising our children in any of these places. We're going to move them elsewhere. Now, of course, you know, Brave, I don't agree with most and much of what he says, but yeah, we moved away from, they made sure they raised us away from the Negro. And for our family that lived out in, you know, quote unquote, if you will, uncompromised areas, we grew up as we did, and if we wanted to spend time and hang out with our cousins and stuff like that, they had to come to our house. But we would have those extra special once in a lifetime kind of moments when we actually got to stay out there with them, with our cousins. But that was very rare. I mean, it's so rare. I can only think of one occurrence right now as I am streaming live. But, you know, my parents, they weren't really going for it all like that. And it's not like a disgust or hate from where they came from. It was just like, we know what we grew up in, and we want to keep our children out of that, and I can't blame them for it. And being raised as I was, you know, and I've told you guys before, the mirror by the door. Never forget who you are, whose you are, and don't ever let them remind you of who you are. Those of you that tuned in earlier and you got to hear John Galt present to you that Black woman today that cried the way that she did in front of all those white folks. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. She did it. Weakness. I won't ever let them see that in me. And even whenever I experience that weakness, for those of you that know the story and for those of you that don't, I went to one of my favorite white teachers. And I told her about the mistreatment what they were doing to my posters, my flyers, my this, my that. Oh my gosh, it broke me up. But you know what I never did? I never cried in front of any of them. They never saw that. They never saw that weakness. And after my meeting with her, it was just like, hey, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. And unbeknownst to me, even whenever I doubted myself, all of the, because again, tons, over 2,000 kids, you know, a lot of kids, you know. When I say over 2,000 kids, that was just my class. So you have, let's just say we're going to round it up to about 2,000 kids for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. So let's just go ahead, since we've reached past the 5, 10,000 kids at my school, because it was the only high school. And all of our principals, they just had some sort of belief in me that I didn't understand at the time. Of course, I understand it now, but I didn't understand it then. I was going against the most popular girl in the school. One of the most wealthiest girl. I mean, I don't want to say she was wealthy, but she came from one of the most wealthiest families, and I beat her. And I will tell you guys, she did the honorable thing. After she lost, she shook my hand, gave me a hug, and it was decent. But I won when I shouldn't have. There's no way that I should have won. Not where I grew up, not where I'm from. No way, but I did. And Mr. Sylvester here, Mr. Sylvester Turner, he was born in the 1950s. And he managed to do and become in the 1950s what I was able to manage and become so many years later at an all pretty much predominantly white school. So, Mr. Sylvester, shout out to you and your accomplishments. Your accomplishments reached so high that you found yourself in the position of mayor. And it's unfortunate that you had to go, but you know, I'm not going to question God. I won't do it. But let's listen to the rest of this, his legacy, and pay our respect and our tributes to Mr. Sylvester Turner.
And Harvard Law School. He was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. After joining the law firm of Fulbright and Jaworski, he later founded Barnes & Turner Law Firm.
I recognize you for the point of making a personal privilege statement.
In 1988, Turner was elected to the Texas House of Representatives for Texas Houston District 139. He served that position for 27 years and worked on the Houston Appropriations Committee for 21 years and served as Speaker Pro Tem for 3 terms.
And of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We are all Houstonians, and we all deserve the right to improve and move forward together.
In 2015, he was elected as the 62nd mayor of Houston. Mayor Turner was re-elected for a 2nd term in 2019. During his 8 years, he arguably dealt with the most any mayor has handled in the city of Houston. He was with the people, right there on the ground during Hurricane Harvey, day in and day out. He was a crucial factor in the city's rebound from the storm, and he championed historic pension reform. On the energy front, he launched Houston's first climate action plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Regardless of where you come from, the language you speak, your religion, everybody can root for the Houston Astros.
He cheered on the 2017 and 2019 World Series champions and hosted a very successful 51st annual Super Bowl in Houston. One thing he always said and lived by was it matters not whether you are a Democrat or Republican, or whether you're black, brown, white, or Asian, whether you're rich or poor or in between, whether you're educated or uneducated. What matters to me is that we are all Houstonians, and we will stand and work for Houston for its future. Yes. Mayor Turner will always remain not just a Houstonian, but be known as one of Houston's heroes.
So we also want to note there that obviously he won and was currently serving as congressman, serving in the 18th congressional district after the passing of also another mover and shaker, Sheila Jackson Lee, who passed last year.
Yeah, we don't want to forget that. And believe you me, I'm going somewhere tonight. I'm going somewhere tonight. So we had Sheila Jackson Lee, who passed away due to her illness. And we also have here Mr. Sylvester that passed away because of his illness. Now, I don't ever want to take away from, from the work that they have done and the changes that they've made, and also the history that they've made here in the great state of Texas. Never forget Juneteenth. Me, myself, as a Texan Negro, I was offended. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, it looks like we're not here. Okay, hold on. Oh goodness. And see, and that's probably why I really didn't want to go live tonight, because StreamYard and these updates, it's disrespectful. StreamYard, it's just get it together. Okay, do it in the dead hours, okay? So we're not being impacted by this. No one wants to be impacted by this way. StreamYard. Those of you that are in the chat, we got 13 people in the building. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can see my little circle on the screen, as well as the video of Hakeem Jeffries. I do have my iPad and my phone going, so I can see as well. But you guys let me know. Nonetheless, I want you guys to stay with me on this 18th congressional district. Oh, all-seeing guy, hello to you. Hey, all-seeing. Oh, Miss Helen. Hey, Mrs. Helen. So good to see you. Thank you. Thank you to the both of you for letting me know. I want you guys to stay with me on this 18th congressional district, because I'm going somewhere. I just need you guys to stay with me for a little bit so I can get where I'm going. But keep 18th congressional district, Houston, Texas. I want you guys to keep that in mind. And even if you forget, don't worry. I'll remind you. Let me reshare my screen, because I don't want to get caught slipping, because StreamYard is doing its thing. But let's listen to a little bit more from Hakeem Jeffries. Of course, rest in peace to Sheila Jackson Lee and Mr. Sylvester Turner. It's unfortunate that she passed away, and then he won her seat and he passed away. May God bless and cover whoever fills that seat next. And my prayer is that God keeps them long enough for them to be able to fulfill whatever their desires are politically in the 18th congressional district in Houston. Let's listen to Brother Hakeem Jeffries.
To move America forward, they want to turn back the clock. Republicans aren't interested in improving the economy or making life better for everyday Americans.
Okay.
They want to enact the largest cut to Medicaid in American history and are hurting our veterans. Far-right extremists are desperate.
Hakeem. Hakeem, let's be real. Since when have y'all cared about the veterans? Since when have y'all cared about our soldiers that are active duty military right now? My brother, Sergeant First Class in the Army, very active duty. The only dream that my brother has ever had was to serve his country like our father, our grandfather, our great-grandfather. My brother is doing that right now. When did you care about veterans? When did you care about the military whenever you enacted these egregious policies for this vaccine mandate? Whenever you nearly slashed half of our military across all branches, whenever you denied the religious claims of, hey, for religious reasons, I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't do it, and I'm not. Whenever you depleted our Air Force, whenever you just walked right on by. Shout out to Top Gun. Shout out to Top Gun, Tom Cruise, right? No, listen, great movie. All of our fighter pilots. I can hear you right now. I hear what you're saying about our veterans, but not just our veterans, but our active duty service members. Hakeem. Even our first responders. Hey, don't you, Mr. Hakeem, give me a lesson on what the Republicans don't care about. Y'all have made it painfully clear. Y'all don't care about our first responders. Y'all don't care about those that keep our nation safe. The reason why we can be proud Americans is because we got that. We got that thing with us. We got that hammy with us. Hakeem. And that thing, that hammy, that is our United States military across all branches. Hakeem. Not too long ago, y'all didn't care about dismantling that. What keeps us free, which upholds our Constitution. So Hakeem, I hear you, but I ain't falling for the okey doke, sir. Not falling for the okey doke. Fortunately for you, Hakeem, people that vote in your favor and that vote for this party, they'll get swindled, as they always do. But again, as I stated at the start of this stream, thank God for Jesus. That's all I can do. For the Black people that are saying, nah, I can't do this. I can't, and I won't. I can't. You are standing in favor of Ukraine. Yes, a white country, but you're Black. I thought that, aren't we supposed to be on this page of hating white people? I mean, I've been listening. I've been paying attention, you know, and I'm a Negro. I thought y'all said that we're supposed to hate white folks. We don't want anything to do with them because they are the enemy. They are the greatest threat to Black people in this United States of America. Why are we sending all of this money to a white country? Why are we in favor of this? I haven't seen y'all protesting and acting a fool. I mean, I have seen y'all acting a fool behind what happened with Trump and Zelensky the other day, but I haven't seen y'all act a fool like that. Yeah, you know, for like Haiti, you know, the continent of Africa, I haven't seen that. But you guys are standing in solidarity and financially. I thought y'all wanted reparations. Well, you know, cheers to your reparations, because you are advocating for your reparation money to be sent straight to who? The very people that you tell us that we should be afraid of and we should fear because they're the greatest threat. They're the enemy. White folks in Ukraine. And don't you ever for 1 second think I forgot. I remember when this war started. I remember. I remember. And I remember seeing all of those Africans that were trying to flee, trying to get on the train. I saw you, Mr. President Zelensky, advising your soldiers to allow the women and children to board. But the same blacks that you denied citizenship, you decided to go ahead and make sure that they fought on the front lines for you, to die for your country before your own white folks did, you know, like the Confederacy, the Confederates in the Civil War. Yes, they're African. They may not be African American, but you know, to me, I mean, we're all black. I mean, so you're in favor of this? I'm not. If you guys were here earlier and y'all got to see John with the Nigerians, the Nigerian credit check. John did a Nigerian credit check, and I'm not gonna lie, for those of you that were here, if you saw it, you saw it. If you know, you know. I did clip it and it will be posted tomorrow. However, these Africans, y'all know John is crazy. It was actually crazy to witness it, especially to witness their interactions as they were talking to each other and asking each other questions. But one of John's friends, I believe his name is Kimmy. Kimmy told us a story about him being in Ukraine. Literally. I'm not lying to y'all. If y'all were here, y'all were here. And y'all got to hear Kimmy tell this story. A Nigerian dude, Yoruba. He and his wife and his children, they were in Ukraine. And he told us about how they would not allow him to leave with his family, and how they attempted to force him to fight their war. So you know what Kimmy did? Him and John, they've been friends for very many years, because he's been to America before, lived in America. He's even an American citizen, but he's a businessman, highly intelligent, has a lot going on. But he and his family, they were in Ukraine for a little bit. He told us a story about whenever he was trying to get his family up out of there, and those Ukrainian soldiers said, yeah, I mean, they can go, but you can't. Absolutely not. And shout out to Kimmy for that, for saying, hey, I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I ain't fighting y'all's war. I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm going back to America. I mean, I was here for a purpose, short term, but I had to get up out of here. But here you have on the screen the likeness of a Hakeem. We're going to get into the Ayanna Presleys, the Maxine Waters, and the Jasmine Crockett's, and all of these other Negroes that put on this stick to make you believe and think that they are in favor of the American Negro. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know right now, if you don't know already, they are not. They are not. They never have been, and they never will be. The only thing that they're good for is being a what? Puppet. To spread the word. To keep other Negroes in check. And you know who's not going for it? I'm not. I'm not going for it. I just can't trust Negroes like this. You're not standing in line with me and for us. You're standing against me. Especially as we sit here and listen to him spew nothing but lies. But we're going to give him maybe 2 to 3 more minutes. And then we're going to move on because we have to get to the crux of this so that I can explain and talk to you guys about what bothered me the most about last night.
Trying to jam
Let me know if y'all can hear
their
me.
reckless budget
Hey, 12 man.
down the throats of the American people. They want us to step back. House Democrats will continue to fight back. We're going to fight back in the Congress, in the courts, in the community, in urban America, in rural America, suburban America, small town America, the heartland of America. We're going to push back aggressively.
Did he say?
Against Donald Trump, his administration, and the extreme MAGA Republican agenda until we can end this national nightmare and bring the American dream to life for every single person in this country. That's our North Star, and it will continue to be our focus. And we must always stand up for.
Did he say fight back? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let's run it back. Let's go back a few more seconds. I just want to make sure I'm not tripping because we are actually reacting to Hakeem Jeffries live. This video isn't live, but this is a live reaction from me. But let's go back a little bit and just to make sure that I heard what I thought I heard. Let's see.
In urban America, in rural America, suburban America, small town America, the heartland of America, we're going to push back aggressively against Donald Trump, his administration, and the extreme MAGA Republican agenda until we can end this national nightmare and bring the American dream to life for every single person in this country.
All right, you light-skinned Negro, we understand. And shout out to all my light skins out there, but you light-skinned black dudes, you know, the sassiness for me, I can't, okay? That doesn't mean that all of you are this way. I'm just saying. So you have fight back, push back. Now, I already talked to you guys and briefly, I'll say, Joy Reid, she had to find out the hard way. She did. You see, you have Negroes like this Mr. Hakeem here, and these other Negroes in the Democrat Party. You see, like I told you guys, my parents said, never forget who you are and whose you are, and never let them remind you of who you are. Yes, I don't have time for that. Yeah, I don't. And Joy Reid, she got a beautiful dose of reality. Shout out to Joy Reid. She got fired. Joy Reid, Joy. Baby girl, Joy.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
You're fired. Okay? You're fired. And you got up on a podcast crying about it. I mean, I suppose I'm supposed to believe how strong you are and what strength looks like to you. It didn't look like that to me. And you guys are the party that tells us how fearful we are supposed to be of the white man and of white people. You are the party that tells us that we should quite literally hate white people because they are the spawns of Satan. You are the party that tells us that white folks are so bad that the only thing that they want to do and the only thing that they seek us to do is to be failures. They are our enemy, the white man. And for some reason, over the years, while the whites have allowed the Negroes to use their internet and get on their social media platforms and get on their networks and spew this, for whatever reason, these Negroes got too comfortable. Yes, I am a conservative. Yes, I do vote Republican. Yes, I am Black, but believe you me, I don't ever forget that I'm Black. I don't. I don't have the space, the time, or the room to do so. Never have, never will. So yes, you'll hear these Democrats and they'll say, I had to work 5 times, 10 times harder. I had to do this and that. I will never disagree with them whenever they say that. I'll never disagree with that. However, you guys are where you are, while the rest of us Negroes that are down here, yeah, we're doing what we can do, you know, and we're making the best out of our due. And some of us, we just don't blame white folks for what we were not able to accomplish. But for Negroes like this here on the screen, yes, and all of these other Negroes that decided to protest last night, see, y'all don't have the room to make the claims that you are making. Because if the white man was so bad, why would he ever allow you to be in the chambers at Capitol Hill for Congress, the Senate, on presidential cabinets, to become mayors, attorney generals, and any other city council, commissioners, any other elected position? Why would they allow you to be there? Because the ways you describe them, I'm telling you, if I was one of the white folks that y'all describe, y'all wouldn't be in anything. Nothing. You would be in nothing. Yes, I would treat you the way that you say that we treat you. I would treat you that way. But again, Joy Reid. Oh yes, does she have to learn with her crying ass? Crying. I'm not showing you no weakness. Yeah, y'all fired me, but I'm not defeated. And even if I'm defeated, you won't ever know that I am. Hello? You won't ever know that I am. But if I was trying to make some sort of resounding speech to the American Negro, I'm not crying. I'm standing 10 toes down on all of the negative things that I have been preaching for all of these years about white folks. Joy Reid. Joy. They gave you what you wanted. They gave you what you wanted. You said that they're hateful, they're racist, Christians, white men are the devil, they're evil, this, that, and the third. They're going to get us up out of here. They're trying to put us in chains. They want to fire us, this and that. You actually summoned this. Joy? I'm one of those Negroes. I mean, Trump said it last night because he said, hey, I wanted to drop this on April 1st, but I said, you know, let's do it on April 2nd. Let's do it on April 2nd because yeah, I don't want you guys to think it's a joke. But for me, whenever it comes to me, because I'm a believer, I actually do believe in God. I mean, I know the Democrats say that they do. It's clear that they do not. There is not a God that they believe in. Beyond Satan, that's who they praise. It's not Jesus. You say you believe in God and you're going around doing everything that is against him, yes, and not in his favor, that does not represent him by any stretch of the imagination. Moses said, let my people go. And Negroes like this Jamal, Hakeem Jeffries, and I know, listen to me saying Jamal. I'm thinking about Jamal Bryant. They're not leading Black people anywhere besides hell. That's what it is, in my opinion. This is me. This is my perspective. Okay. You stand in these places, in these spaces, where you have a platform to reach every American Negro, and even the non-American Negroes that migrated here. And you deliver this message of defeat and this message of, oh my gosh, I'm so incapable. I'll never be able to do this. How true is that whenever you have a Somalian-born Ilhan Omar in our Congress? She should not be there, but she is. She is. White men are so bad. Hakeem Jeffries is the leader of the Democrat Party in the House, giving speeches like this. Oh, the white man is so bad. Listen, he ain't as bad as I would be. And you see, that's why God made sure I was Black, you see. Because I'd get them all up out of there. Yes. You're not going to disrespect me. No, you're not doing that. Because if it wasn't for me, y'all keep on talking about slavery. You want to go back? Hey, I can get you back to Africa. We can arrange that. But in a country that you hate so much, that is so bad, that has treated you so unfairly, you are in leadership positions on a national and international platform. People know who you are and they can see you even in all your mess. I would have to get y'all up out of here, see, and that's why I'm not, you guys always say, oh, Portia, you know, I want you to run for office. Y'all don't want me to run for office. You don't. I've shared some videos with you before, and I might share a few more tonight. I might share some with you tonight that you might haven't seen yet. And you may get to see Portia in real life, in action. I don't play those games. Yes, I don't. I call it as I see it. And I address these Black Democrats head on. I do. Do I go deep sometimes? Yes, I do. Yes. One of our former commissioners, she always talked about how her mama was a crackhead. So every time I went to commissioner's court, I just opened up with the fact that her mom is a crackhead. What else am I supposed to do? You keep on reminding us that she's a crackhead and she wasn't there for you. However, your mom, your crackheaded mama that wasn't there for you, and your dad, you don't even know who he is. You're an orphan, man. You're an orphan. Yes. Your mom has no self-control. Yes, she's a crackhead. I didn't say that. You did. So whenever I would go to commissioner's court, which again, depending on how I feel tonight, I might show y'all a few clips of me and my opening statements, opening with the crackhead mama. Hey, you said it, not me. I wouldn't have known your mama was a junkie. I wouldn't have known your mama was a crackhead if you didn't tell me. But you know what? Even in the midst of your mama being a crackhead and you never knowing your father, you know what you did. You know what you became. A commissioner. The first of your kind. You made history. Is that not good enough? With a father you've never known and a crackhead mama that just chose drugs over you because apparently you wasn't good enough for your mother to choose you, so she chose drugs. But even though she did that, Miss Ma'am, you made history in this state and this county. Yes, I'll rip you up and I'll make you think about some things. Yes. But hey, you know, I don't encourage anybody to be like me. I'm just saying, whenever you guys say, Portia, you should run for office, I just say, hey, you don't want me to, because when I cut deep. I do. I go there. You may say it's going low, but it's politics. I'm going to go as low as I can go. Don't give me any information that I can use against you. Because it's one thing for someone to allegedly say something, but it's another thing whenever you actually tell us yourself. Crackhead mamas. Let's listen to a little bit more.
That's our North Star, and it will continue to be our focus. And
we have 19 people in the building. Shout out to you guys. Welcome in. If you have not hit the like, hit the like. Hit the like. Hit the like. As you come in. Thank you guys for being here. Also hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. Okay, hit the cash app if you got it. And if you don't got it, listen, your time spent with us is valuable. You hitting a like, that's valuable. You typing in the chat, that's valuable. And we thank all of you guys for being here. Now, for all of you great people that are in the building right now, I just want to reiterate, because you may not have heard it earlier, StreamYard is updating right now. So in the chat, I need you guys to let me know if I cut out and you can no longer see me on screen. If the video cuts out and you can no longer see the video on screen, I can see it in StreamYard. But for what you guys see in the audience, I need you guys to let me know so that I can fix a few things to make sure that you can see and that you can hear. And if you can't hear me, let me know. If you can't hear the audio, let me know. Please. Thank you. Let's get back into it.
And we must always stand up for our veterans, those who have worn the uniform to protect and serve our great country.
Mm-hmm.
They've been there for us, sacrificed for us, shown courage and extraordinary bravery for us. We should always stand with them.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, for those of you that were in the building last night, Democrats don't talk to me about no damn military. Don't. I don't want to hear it. See, y'all been doing all of these interviews over the last several weeks. Y'all have been interviewing the people that you said Doge fired. Now, they only had one task. Their task was to respond to an email. My brother's task is to respond with his life. His life. While he is no veteran, I do come from a military family, and I do have a veteran father, and I do have a veteran grandfather that I took care of until he passed away. But I also have a brother who is very, very active duty right now. Must I forget how you depleted the United States military over the last 4 years? Democrats, with your homosexuality, your promotion of women, and your encouragement of weakness. Veterans, I want to hear it. I don't. Y'all are having all of these interviews to try to make a point, talking about Elon needs to be removed and Doge this and Doge that. And y'all want to have these sit downs and these interviews with these people that have been fired because they opted out of responding to an email. Do you think that my brother gets to respond with the email? No, he has to respond with his life. But y'all are sitting down and interviewing these people. But what about the people, you know, in the military, since you want to talk about veterans? Because you're talking about veterans. There's a whole lot of veterans now because they got kicked out of the military. Yes, they did, because they did not get that COVID vaccine. They didn't get the vaccine. They were kicked out. Tens of thousands of service members we lost because y'all wouldn't honor a religious mandate that they submitted. You ignored it, or just the fact that they didn't want to take it at all. Where are all those interviews, Democrats? Where y'all took out time to sit down and talk to all of those veterans that Hakeem is saying that we should care so much about? Where are those interviews, those news segments? And hey, not just veterans, Americans, period. Where are those interviews? Where y'all sat down and y'all let these people cry on national TV talking about all the pain and the hurt. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I got fired. Where are those interviews? Y'all didn't care about them. Well, because you demonized them, because they didn't want to put something in their body. You know, my body, my choice. You guys on the left, you Democrats, you should understand that, right? My body, my choice. You should get that. You should understand that. Oh, but of course, here you are trying to prove a point, to attack Trump, demonize Trump and Elon Musk, and foolishly thinking that the American voter, that the American citizen is falling for the gimme. Try again, Hakeem. Try again. Try again. Let's keep going.
Thousands of veterans across the country have been hurt by the extreme actions of Donald Trump, the Trump administration, Elon Musk, and MAGA Republicans. That's unacceptable. It's unconscionable. It's un-American. And there are several veterans here today to tell their stories to the American people about what is happening and the fact that veterans all across this great country are being harmed. Our promise to veterans in this country is that we will always stand with you. We will love and cherish you, and we will fight to make sure that every single veteran in this country is treated with the dignity and respect that you deserve. It's now my honor to yield to our distinguished whip, Catherine Clark.
Thank you. Thank you, leader. We heard a lot of things in the 100-minute presidential address last night. Not one thing about helping veterans. 100 minutes, not one thing about helping our veterans. Instead, we heard the double down on the same corrupt agenda. Help the rich get richer. And to pay for tax cuts for the richest man on earth, the GOP is throwing our veterans under the bus, raising their prices, cutting their health care, destroying their livelihoods. 6 weeks into this.
And this is where we're going to have to end this for me, because I can't do this. I can't and I won't here at the Urban Landlord. I can't and I won't. I can't and I won't. Like, listen, one surefire way to piss me off is talking about the military. My brother, many years ago, this was many years ago, we understand what they sign up for. Our public servants. And shout out to all of you in the chat that are veterans, that have made the selfless decision to give your life for mine, to give your life for people you don't even know, to give your life for people that hate you. curse you down, strike you down. For people that don't even understand your purpose. Whenever I see anybody in uniform, I don't care what it is, any public service, if it's military, me, I worked as a paramedic for many years. For those of you that know, you know, firefighters, police officers, EMTs, whatever the case may be. I always thank them for their service. I thank them because I mean it, not because I'm being some sort of prick to be annoying. You see, last night, Trump talked about something that meant a whole lot to me. While Biden was president, he did something like pulling out of Afghanistan. It was a disaster the way he did it. And there was a terrorist there who decided to set off a bomb that killed 13 American soldiers. One of those soldiers could have been my brother. And I grieved so badly during that time. That hurt me. Oh my gosh, it hurt me. It did. Because I remember whenever my brother was stationed in Afghanistan. And at that time, I did not know. I didn't know. I did not know that my brother had his little Bible, and in his little Bible that he carried with him was a picture of me and him. I did not know that I was the point of contact for his first in command. I did not know. But I'm in college. Young, I'm in college. You know, I got some dogs and stuff, you know, and this is even before I got the phone call from my grandfather asking me if I could come home, because he just found out he was diagnosed with dementia. This was well before that, but I get a phone call from my brother's first in command, and she tells me all of these things. Do I have a pencil and paper, or if I can type it in my phone, or whatever the case may be? There was an explosion. Your brother was there. Right now, at the moment, we don't have any confirmation on whether or not anybody survived, but we're presuming that everyone that blew up in that tank, they're all deceased. So she's telling me this, and I'm telling y'all, I was younger, I'm in college, I'm out here, I'm trying to figure out life on my own, but she's telling me I need to write these things down. So I start to write these things down, and she's explaining to me the process. She's telling me about, you know, once they retrieve the bodies and whenever they're transported here, you know, back to the States, and how we would have the recognition ceremony at the airport, you know, the salutes, the flag over the coffin, this, that, and the third. And my brother, me and my brother, we are exactly 2 years and 2 days apart. I'm October 23rd. He's October 25th. We were born at the exact same time. 2 years and 2 days apart. Me and my brother, we are very close. We always have been. I'm getting a call from somebody else. I'm picking up the phone. I don't know who this is, whatever the case may be. And I am being as strong as I could be in that moment. I thought my brother was dead, because that's what she essentially told me. You know, it wasn't, 100% confirmed, but, it was just, hey, that one was bad. So we're assuming that everyone is dead. But in that tank, which I did not know at that time, I did not know that day. I didn't know until about a week later. That day, she called me. It upended me. It broke me. It broke me in ways that I did not know that I could be broken. I felt things that I never knew that I could feel. And the only thing that I could think to do, thousands of miles away from home, based upon all the conversations my brother and I had, all of the letters that he wrote and sent. The bad parts, the hardest parts, he never told mama. He never told mama. But he told me. And so whenever I talked to mama, she had to have you talk to your brother. Yeah, how is he doing? He's good. And, you know, whenever my brother called mama, it was all good stuff, right? So I'm over here having to uphold this for my brother at his request. But whenever his command called me, I could not hold that. That was a lot. That was the day that I found out that my brother trusted me with that. I'm telling you, I was so broken up. I packed up my dogs, I packed up some suitcases, and I got in my car and I drove to Texas. Took me almost 2 days, give or take. I had my dog had just had puppies. You know, we having to stop. You know, it took me a while to get home, but I didn't even go home. I went to my mom's. I went to my mom's job, and I stood in line as other people were standing in line. And my mom, she was there directly at the counter, and you know, she's just doing her work thing. And mama looks up, and of course she realizes, oh, shoot, Portia, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And of course, I talk to my mom every day. She had called me even like while I was driving, and I'm just acting like, you know, everything's fine. I'm at home. I'm in college. I'm going to class, going to work, whatever the case may be. But the moment that my mom locked eyes with me and she asked me those questions, I broke it. I broke down. I lost it. And of course, I'm overwhelmed, because not only am I breaking my promise to my brother to not tell mama, but I'm also breaking my strength. The strength that he didn't ask me to have, but he trusted me to have. If something like that happened, I thought my brother was dead. A burden I could not carry on my own. And I broke down in front of my mom. And, you know, she comes from the back and she catches me as I'm nearly falling. And she's like, what's going on? And I told her. And so our family, for a whole week, that's what we dealt with. Thinking he was gone. And again, trust me, but we know what they sign up for. But I tell y'all what, whenever we got that phone call from my brother, and we got to hear his voice, and he got to tell us when he was coming home, oh, all of the joy and the glory in the world. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. So whenever that botched attempt by Biden, whenever that happened, and their pull out of Afghanistan, that pissed me off. I could connect and relate to that. For somebody who has lost someone in service. So for those of you veterans that are still alive, God has a blessing for you, and over your life, he's covering you. But whenever you hear people like this Hakeem Jeffries and this white woman on the screen, I ain't got nothing for you or for it. You ain't saying nothing that's resonating with me. You don't care about veterans. You don't. You left the borders wide open over the last 4 years, and you've treated these illegals better than you have our own service members. Listen, play with your mama. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I know what time y'all are on. I know what type of people you are. And I know that you have zero care in the world. Not only did you take away the hopes and the dreams of the career of a lifetime from these dedicated, selfless soldiers that opted to serve by kicking them out because they did not get a COVID vaccine. You opened the borders and allowed people that have never served and care nothing about this country, more so than the ones that actually gave the sacrifice. Shout out to those of you that made it back. They do not care. They do not care. And this is pathetic, and this is shameful. I ain't got nothing for it. I ain't got nothing for it. So I can't show you anything else. Like I said, the link to this is in the description box. If you may torture yourself further, by all means, please go ahead, because I cannot. And I'm keeping it tame. I have to keep it tame. I'm not going to go too crazy with this on you guys. But we're going to take a step into further directions as it pertains to what took place last night. I want you guys to remember the 18th Congressional District and Mr. Sylvester passing away. May he rest in peace. Please do not forget him as we go through this. Al Green, out of Texas. Houston, yes. 18th Congressional District. Don't forget about it. But let's see what happened with Al Green last night. Let's see. How did that go? What happened here?
And one counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Completely red? Is that what happened?
Now, for the first time in modern history,
do we have
more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
The most ever. The most ever. Shut up to Donald Trump. Good stuff. Hey, Crown Reese. Hey, St. D. Hey,
Small
Solid
business
J.
optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Warning.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. You see, these white folks, they know what they're doing. Okay, they know what they're doing. Couldn't have been me. Me, Portia, Speaker of the House, couldn't have been me. All right. You see, he's reading word per word, verbatim. Okay, what it is to be. Yes, he's. Get his ass up out of here. Yep. General, Secret Service, get him up out of here. I don't have time for this shit. You know what? Matter of fact, get them all up out of here. Yeah, we're gonna do that. And optics, I don't care. Get them up out of here. I don't have time. See, and that's something. Black people are very necessary in certain spaces. Mike Johnson was being nicer than I would have been. I would have said, slick back. Hey, slick back. You gotta go. Mr. Biggs, you're contagious. You gotta go. Ronald Isley, you gotta go. Yeah, I'm going there. But that would just be me. But you know, thankfully, they have people that have far more better decorum than I do. Let's keep going. Hey, Humble. Y'all hit the like, hit the Cash App.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Listen, let me tell y'all. I don't care where I grew up. I don't care the circumstances that my parents made. And all of the beautiful things and sacrifices that they made for my brother and my sister and I to grow up with the things that we had, where we did, and for all three of their children to be, I would say, normal and successful. When I say normal, I mean none of us are homosexual, you know. And they did good. What I'm telling y'all right now, hear me. I ain't finna be on national TV letting a white man or listening to a white man or putting myself in a position to have a white man to tell me to take my seat, telling me to sit my black ass down. Oh. Oh no. I have too much pride for that. He said, Mr. Green, take a seat. Sit down. Sit down, Mr. Green. Sit your ass down. No, you see, my pride would have been too tied up. Listen, that's a lot. That's a lot. I wouldn't have been able to handle that. See, because I wouldn't have even put myself in a position for this to happen and to be recorded and logged into history for forever. I guess some Black folks out there or some white liberals out there think that this was very empowering. You know, it was strong, you know, defiance. What? No. This white man just told you to sit your ass down, and not only did he tell you to sit your ass down, let's see what else this white man made sure of, Mr. Green.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
You're a duly elected congressman. Al, you're Black. You're from Texas, of all places. Between you and Jasmine Crockett, I really don't know who's worse. A white man told you to shut up. He then told you to sit your ass down. He then told you, I will get your Black ass up out of here. And him standing in his defiance, this white man said, hey, okay. Yeah, just go ahead and get his Black ass up out of here. I mean, hey, I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me. No, not me. I ain't got it in me. No, I ain't putting myself in no position to where a white person, man or woman, is about to have me out here looking crazy because of something that I did, because I forgot that I was Black. You see, they talk all of this Black talk. They do this all the time. Oh, I gotta work 10 times harder. Oh, the white man, he's so racist. There's a white supremacy. The white Christian man. Listen, if this is what I truly believe about the white man, like these Black Democrats, you better believe I'm behaving in fear. Yes, that's how I'm operating. I'm operating like I'm afraid of the white man. And so I'm falling in line. I'm not going to do this. We see the stage as 3 white men on it. There's Trump, there's Vance, and there's Mike Johnson. Oh, no. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, massa. Yes, sir, massa. I'm gonna sit down. Not me, Portia, but see, you Black Democrats, this is the message that y'all preach. This is what you put out. They are the enemy. We are to be afraid of the straight white Christian male because they want to kill you. The police officers, this, that, and the third. See, but y'all don't act like that. Y'all don't act like you're scared. You don't act like you're afraid. But on national TV and the international world, not only did this white man get you told, this white man got your Black ass put out. Sir. Do as you wish, do as you may. I can't do it. I mean, yes, we are all Americans, but I'm still Black, and that is not anything that I'll ever dismiss, and I will never allow a non-Black to put me on display like this. You're not going to advertise my weakness because I don't have it. I ain't got it. And more importantly, I ain't trying to get their seal of approval. I ain't doing that. You see, because it's all over the news. You Negroes, y'all had a plan. The Democrats, in the House, y'all's little caucus to walk out, to act a fool, and to do this, that, and the third. But what happened? Al, if you're listening to this right now, and don't worry, I'll be seeing you at the end of the month at the Emerging Leaders Conference. It's okay. If you don't hear this now, you'll hear it then when I see you in a few weeks. How does that feel, Al? That your fellow Negroes, your Jasmine Crockett's, your Ayanna Presley's, your Ilhan Omar's, your Maxine Waters, your Hakeem Jeffries. How does it feel that all of the Negroes that you met with, they said they would stand up with you when you pulled this stunt? But whenever Mike Johnson stood up and said what he said, all of they Black asses sat down. How does that make you feel, Al? Huh? How does it make you feel? Thought you guys had a plan. Thought these Negroes were on your side. What happened? What happened, Al? What happened? Why did they leave you hanging? Al, trust me. The feeling that you had last night, whenever you did that little interview afterwards, I heard everything you said, but I know what that feels like. To meet up with a bunch of Negroes who say that they're going to do this, that, and the third, and whenever push comes to shove and the time is now, they don't follow through. Al, I walked away from a full 12-year academic scholarship for medicine. I walked away from that. From one of the top tier schools in the United States of America, I walked away from that. Me. I walked away from that. Why? The other day, I think his name was like Caleb, or I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. That kid, that died, the Omega Psi Phi. That very thing happened at my first institution. And he was trying to join a white frat. He wasn't even trying to join a Black one. It was a white one because At that time, they didn't even have black frats and sororities on campus. They didn't even have them. He's trying to join a white frat. And in the midst of him trying to join this white frat, they beat his black ass into a coma. Beat him. Damn near to death. Yes, and it wasn't a lot of black folks there. It was just, it was a handful. It was a few of us here and there, you know what I mean? But I wasn't cool with that. And so here I am, Miss Social Justice Portia. I'm like, no, I'm gonna contact the NAACP, all of the black radio stations. We finna make this something. Yeah, we going there. We doing this. I ain't going for it. Calling meetings on campus with all the other Negroes, all of the athletes, whatever the case may be, doing it all. And we had a meeting and we all agreed to do the same thing. We all agreed to do the same thing. And just like John Galt, hey, I have the audio and the video from all of those years, all the way back then. And one day I might share it with you guys. One day I might. But everybody was on board, which, Mr. Al Green, like this Black Caucus hearing that you had amongst the Negroes on the plan. This was the plan. Yeah, Al, I went through the same thing. There was a plan and it was the plan. And so whenever we had chapel to talk about the issue, I've told you guys before, if it's your first time here, I will never be your token Negro. I can't do it. I never have, and I never will be. But at my first institution, me and another black, it's like you had your black girl, you had your black guy. I had to go to class every day listening to white kids tell me that the only reason why I got here in this position is because I was here off of a quota, not even them knowing, oh no, like I got 2,000 plus kids in my class. No, bitch, I'm smart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Math. Yeah. No. Science. Oh, no, I'm quota. I had no idea. The only reason why I knew about those things is because the white kids told me. I went to school where in the classrooms, it was etched in the desk that they didn't even bother to remove. Them drawing pictures of a black person being hung. KKK this, white knight this, white coat this, going to the restroom. You would see it all over campus, and they never wasted time telling you. I'm from down south. I never experienced anything like this down south. It took for me to go up north. And I'm like, what's going on up in here? What's wrong? But again, thank God for Jesus and my parents. Because even whenever it was hard, it wasn't that hard. But during that hazing, all of these white boys to this black boy, whenever the time came, Al, y'all had this meeting before this session. Al, I had a meeting too. Me too. With other Negroes. I had a meeting too. And whenever we had this open panel, town hall sort of thing during chapel, Al, just like you, I was the only black person that actually stood up and did what we collectively as a group of Negroes said we were going to do. I was the only one that did. I was the only one that did, so much so that I was trying to look. I can't even say trying. Hey, I was looking all across the nation to see if there was any other campus in the United States of America that was experiencing quite literally what was going on at my campus at that time. And lo and behold, I found one. Hey, shout out to Kentucky. We bleed blue. We bleed blue. through and through. I found one. Isn't it, for me, sometimes I just sit back and I just think about like how good God is and how things have just worked out in my life. And I was pissed whenever I stood up, because it was almost as if I made a fool of myself. And maybe they thought that I did, but I never felt that way. And I don't feel that way now, because I stood up and I spoke out and I walked out for something that I believed in. Those white boys almost killed him. Again, thank God for Jesus. They almost killed him. Respirator, he's on life support. He was from Texas too. Shout out to Texas. He was from Texas too. You see, but I guess they were better Negroes than me, because they weren't willing to walk away and to drop whatever scholarships, whatever opportunities. They weren't willing to do what I did. Even though I told you I was a token. I had the most promise. I had the most promise. But I walked away anyway. Because no matter how much promise I had, no matter the fact that I wasn't a quota, they found me. They weren't on my list of schools. Not by any stretch of the they found me. My grades were that good. My feats and all of the things that I was doing when I was between elementary, middle, and high school, especially high school, they found me. They came and sought me out. I didn't seek them out. But I didn't care. I didn't care about none of that. My blackness came before all of that. And what I would and would not stand for, and what I refused to have associated with my own name. I couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't do it. And so I didn't. But for all of those blacks, pro-black this, black, 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 whenever it was your time to stand up for another black person, none of you did. Y'all left me out in the shadows. They just it was just me. And lo and behold, whenever I found another university, another campus that was dealing with something similar, it wasn't as harsh, it wasn't as bad, it wasn't as life-threatening. I got in my car and I drove all the way there. And I get there, and y'all listen, I was nervous. I had to call my mom. I said, Mama, I can't do this. They had a whole entire news crew, this, that, and the third. And they had all of these wonderful people on this panel talking about the signs that they hung, that the white kids hung all around the MLK Center, you know, like where the black kids met. And the sign that they hung all over it, I mean, huge signs too. How do you spell Obama? And the spelling was Nigger. How do you spell Obama? N-word with the hard R. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm not even, I'm not from here. I don't know anything about this state. I'm coming from another state that I didn't know nothing about until I found out. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Oh my God, like I'm just overwhelmed. Talked to my mom, and my mama had to go ahead and remind me, hey, God didn't put fear on your heart. You're there for a reason. You better stand up and you better say something. You better ask God to give you the words. Shout out to my mom. She's great. So I did that. I sat there and I listened to, a few of my favorite gospel songs, and I'm sitting here praying, asking God to give me the words. And, just as when my time was almost up, I stood up. And I told them the same story that I'm telling you all right now. And you see, where I was willing to walk away from and quit a scholarship, 12 years, mind you, covered, didn't have to pay for anything at all. Academics, I was in there. Portia, why would you walk away from that? I mean, yeah, like you did decide to go and pledge in this white fraternity, so why would you walk away from that? Oh, hey, I'm Black. I ain't going for that. I'm not even about to put myself in a position to where it even seems like I'm remotely okay with something like that. To where kids that do not look like me think that it's okay. Because we think it's okay. I can't do that. So here I am standing up and saying whatever it was that I said about my experience. I had my phone, I had my pictures, showing them this, that, and the third, whatever. And every single person that was on that stage, they all stood up. It was like one stood up, they said it, the other stood up, they said it, the other stood up, they said it, the other stood up, they said it. All 8 of them. They all stood up and said, who is this? Who is her? Who is this girl? Portia? That's what you said? No, we got to get her here. Yeah, no, we got to get her a scholarship. Yeah, we're going to make sure whatever it is we got to do to get her here, we're going to get her here. And that's how I ended up at the University of Kentucky. Again, on a full ride academic medical scholarship. All because I showed up based off of my first university, which I could not take and I could not stomach. It took some kind of courage, I suppose. But in the midst of that courage, where I thought that, oh shit, everything might be over for me. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Thank God for Jesus. That happened. That's a real story. This is what I'm telling you. This is a real story. I'm not lying to you. This is a real story. It's a real story. Too oftentimes they call us, Black conservatives, Black Republicans. We're coons, sellouts, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, my God, if only y'all really knew where we really land. And what we really stand for. And what we're really willing to sacrifice. A lot of my credits, no, it was a private Christian school, but it didn't transfer. Having to deal with, trying to get some sort of letter of recommendation, whatever. Listen. I am American, I am a patriot, but I am still Black. And that is not anything that I'll ever put on the back burner. It is not anything I'll ever dismiss or ever forget. It will always be at the front of mind. But you, Mr. Al Green, you had a meeting exactly like I had a meeting with other Black people that painted a picture of a revolution. But whenever you took a stand, none of them stood with you. And unfortunately, due to your response, Mr. Al Green, you didn't learn a damn thing. And Al Green, I don't know nothing about your background. But let's just say, hypothetically, his background was different from mine. I didn't grow up in a Black neighborhood. I didn't grow up with Black kids. I barely got to see my Black cousins. See, like I told you guys, don't forget the 18th Congressional District because I'm going somewhere. See, I didn't grow up with any of that. But my right of mind and my parents, they never let me forget. And I still haven't forgotten. And I was reminded of this last night, watching Mr. Al Green get kicked out of Congress. And now articles have been filed to censure him. Mr. Al Green, was it worth it? The Republicans have filed to censure you. So no matter whenever you come into these chambers, you can't say shit. You can't say nothing. You can't even talk. Where were your Negroes? Al? They said they were going to stand with you. I saw the videos. They said they were going to stand with you. This was the plan. But they all sat down. I want y'all to listen to me right now. All you blacks, you pro-blacks, this, that, and the third. I know y'all have a hope and a dream, and for some reason y'all think y'all are Martin Luther King and y'all can change things and become this and do this, that, and the third. That's over. It's not you. It's not you. It's not going to be for you. It's not your thing. If you are, in fact, in support of your people, and you want to see your people continue to thrive in this great United States of America, and you want to see the lineage of your people continue to be passed down, not aborting your children, not blending with other races and things like that. You want to keep you want to keep the Negroes going. You want to make sure that we're still here hundreds of years after we're gone. You want to make sure that whatever impact it is that you left, and whenever they write about you in the history books, and even if it's not about you, what they've written about Black people. Hey, don't lean on other Blacks for that, unless it's a Black that you can really lean on, because majority of the time you can't lean on most Blacks. You can't. And as sad as it is to say that, that is literally the reality. Al, I was you before. I got played. You got played last night, Al. You got played. And you know what hurts even more about you getting played the way that you did last night, Al? You're a Black man. All of those Black women let you down. Instead of them standing with you in your protest against, the scary boogeyman, the white man that we're supposed to hate and be against. We saw the videos. I've showed them here already. Even Ilhan Omar. Yes, this Somalian that would get stoned if she was at home. Who was married and had children by a Black Somalian man, but she not only left him, she is an adulterer. She had an affair with a white man, divorced her Black Somalian husband, and married this white man. Oh my gosh, Ilhan, I would pay for that flight so you can go home. But you, Mr. Al Green, all of those Black women, while y'all sat there in your pro-blackity Black caucus meeting, they let you die on that hill. Al Green, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to tell you something, Al. You can't bet on Black. You can't. And if you find yourself betting on Black, you make sure you're betting on the right Black, Al. But you betted on the wrong Black. Did Ayanna, Jasmine, Maxine, Hakeem, who else? Ilhan, did they get kicked out of the chambers, banned, and censured? No, they didn't. Just you. And while, yes, you still have your life, you still have breath in your body, how many more Black men have to be sacrificed where the Black women are celebratory about it and making you believe that they are a part of it and they want to uplift you and stand by you. How many more? Al Green. Yeah, I felt away last night. And, you know, again, this is not going to make me vote Democrat anymore or whatever. However, more than anything else, whenever you came out and gave your statement, Al, I would have rocked with you if you would have put the energy where it needed to be put, because the art of war, Sun Tzu, there's power in numbers, Al. You thought you had them. But your Negroes, they let you, Mr. Black Man, out to dry. Hey, I ain't got it in me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I couldn't do it then. As a teenager, he old. I was a teenager. I couldn't do it then as a teenager. I didn't grow up in a Black community. I didn't grow up around Black kids. I couldn't even do it. You know, they say stand on code. No, I was always on code. I'm still on code. You might not understand my code. Might not make sense to you because of how I vote, but oh, no. Oh, absolutely not. Don't you ever for 1 second think that what I do in this party is not in favor of my people. Hey, we all have our own agendas, and that is mine. Ow. That left you hanging. They left you hanging, but don't forget about the 18th congressional district, because Al isn't the only one they left hanging. So let's get through this, and we're going to move through the rest of these videos because Stanley's going to be starting soon. They pulled up on him. You see, every single person. You have this one bald-headed Black dude from Secret Service, and I'm assuming that they got this one bald-headed Black dude from Secret Service right here, right now. You know, just to say, okay, hey, you know, we want the optics, whatever. They pulled up on him. You got dismissed by whites, and you got taken out by whites. Ow. If you thought that represented strength, I don't know who you thought it represented strength to, because it didn't represent strength to me. Yes, not to me. Not to me. And so even after all of those things, after all of those plans, all of the things that they said that they were going to do, Al, he didn't waste no time. He wasted no time getting in front of another camera.
So what were you shouting to the president?
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very...
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Abiola, where have you been? Where have you been? You know, I was scared there for a moment. I thought that the Africans got you. I'm so happy to see you in the chat, Abiola. And you know, as it goes, you are in Africa. Mm-hmm. Are you wearing shoes on your feet today? Have the mosquitoes came back out? Has it warmed up? Miss you, Abiola. So good to see you in the chat. We got the Hood Conservatives in the chat. Shout out to Hood Conservative. Hood, when are you doing? I don't even know because I'm live right now, but I'm waiting on your show, Hood. Going over last night in the reactions. You do such a phenomenal job on your channel. I have to shout you out. Like I love the way that you present things and the way that you run your show. It's really great, and you do a good job. And I do have a lot of links. I know I typed it in the chat earlier, but yeah, like if you don't have the links and stuff, or like the clips that I have, I would totally share them with you. So yeah, shout out to Hood Conservative. He says the Democrats have never been so consistently roasted like this. Hood, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Like, to me, this is bad. This is bad. Hood also says, taking a day or two off, really appreciate the kind words. Shout out to you, Hood Conservative. I love your show whenever you go live on your channel and you are presenting these topics. And your commentary, I think it's phenomenal. I think you do a very fine job. And again, after your break, I would like, I guess, because I think you did tell me like Twitter, I would like to send you, because like what I did is like I took the clips and I, well, like right now I'm showing links, but here in a moment I'm going to be showing clips that I clipped together and I edited myself. So I can share that with you so you can use it on your channel, on your show. So let's see, Slickback, who got, he got told in front of America and the world. Let's see what he has to say. He's not going to say what I just told you guys about my experience standing up for the blacks. It left me high and dry. We had a plan and they didn't follow through. Al, y'all had a plan and they didn't follow through. So is Al going to blame the Negroes that sealed the deal and said this is what they were going to do? Or is he going to blame Trump and the whites? Let's hear. Let's see.
These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs.
I told you guys, Sheila Jackson Lee, she died. Okay. Her predecessor, Sylvester, he died. Now, you know, if I'm going to get super holy on you, I would be thinking to myself, God is trying to tell me something. I don't know. God is trying to tell me something. Sheila got up out of there. They got Sylvester up out of there. And, you know, whoever else comes into the fray, we're about to have the midterms again in Texas. For those of you that do not know, Texas has the most elections out of any other state in the whole entire country. We're always voting for something. Any law that comes into place, so any bill that becomes law in the state of Texas, we vote on that. And if we don't vote on that, it does not become law. You're in your congressional district, they're dead. Okay. And so now, I mean, I would like to think that maybe they would say, hey, maybe we might need to, you know, take some time, do a little homework, research, whatever. Okay, maybe we need to vote different. I don't know what it is. It's just like she just died a few months ago, and then the one that replaced her, he just died. I don't know. But the 18th congressional district, we're gonna get there. Like I said, I need you guys to stay with me because we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. But Again, the blacks that said that they would stand with him, they did not. Al, they let you get kicked out on your own. So is it worth it? Standing with the blacks, the pro-blacks, that's not really pro-black. Is it worth it? They didn't get kicked out. You did. Let's hear the rest of what Slickback is talking about.
That have been so helpful to so many people. It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility, against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
Do you think it works in the House? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you just said?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment. This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we're about to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen.
Is that the only thing that you're protesting?
No, I have other things I'm protesting. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Sir, tell me one more time what you were shouting in the chamber.
That he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and
Yes.
over. Thank you, sir.
No mandate. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Tell you, that's incredible, isn't it? He has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I don't know where he's getting this information from. But again, thank God for Jesus that it's them and it's not me, because I would cut it all off. Yes, I'm cutting it all off. Unless you're disabled to a point to where you cannot take care of yourself and you need a caregiver, or no, I mean, I can't even say or. Honestly, it would just be, it will kind of just be that. So you have someone who is saying, hey, accountability, step up. Medicaid, listen, Medicaid has injured and ruptured Black America for far too many years, to a point to where I don't support that. I don't want anything to do with that, if I'm being quite honest with you. I strongly support, what Trump is talking about, with giving them a year to get it together, and then after that we'll see. This is not a lifetime thing. This is not a forever thing. And for the Negroes, like Jasmine and all these other Negroes that have these large platforms, y'all make it seem like Black people are superheroes, or like they're like we're God himself. And if we're so resilient and so brilliant, why would we need all of these things, right? Why would we wouldn't need these things if we were as great and as fabulous and wonderful as y'all say we are, right? That's what I would think. And so that's just going to go ahead and lead me into Jasmine Crockett. What would you do without her? What would you do without her? And this is just a montage of clips of Jasmine Crockett. And, How much more can you talk about Jasmine being this, that, and the third? One thing I can say about Al Green, he took the bullet. You know, he ate that bullet and he took it for the Negroes. Same way I did. I did too. I did too. However, what do you do about Negroes like Jasmine Crockett? Like I said, the 18th Congressional District. We're talking about Houston. Don't forget, because we're getting there. What do we do with Negroes like Jasmine Crockett whenever you have Black Democrats, Black folks like Whoopi Goldberg and all these other Negroes that have these very large platforms that sit up and try to talk as if every single thing that they say about us is a stereotype? What do you do whenever the stereotype is upheld? What do you do then? What do you say? How do you rebut that? What you guys are about to see, I don't have a rebut. I can't uphold this whole ideology of pro-Black this and, oh, I'm so Black this, and we want to see Black folks doing good this and doing good that. Yes, Jasmine Crockett, she's doing real good. She's doing real good. But I do believe, yes, she may have been duly elected. And yes, she quite literally was. However, me, as a Black, I'm a Black Texan. I have to say this. Jasmine Crockett is not from Texas. She's not born and raised in Texas. She came down here for school, for college. She is not an original Texan. We're going to talk about original Texans here shortly. However, is this the example? I'm getting ready to graduate with my master's in a few months. I'm getting a master's in public administration. Y'all know what I do for a living. Do y'all think I wanted to go back to school? I didn't. I mean, if I'm being real, I really didn't. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I'm done. Especially, you know, my courses. Listen, right now, all of this woke stuff. Listen, but I'm pushing through. I am on track to be the valedictorian, so it's like I'm gonna just keep going, whatever that looks like. Because other people see in me a career as an elected, a high-level elected official. I don't see it, but you know, I'm getting my master's in public administration anyways. But white folks, so they say, so they tell us, so they preach to us. Loud, ghetto, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. I mean, all of the things that they say. Why would you see, if white supremacy is such a thing, you know what I'm not finna do? I'm not finna be what they say that I am. I'm not finna do that. I'm not going to uphold the image, the perception. I'm not going to uphold any of that. I'm going to be the opposite of it. However, Miss Jasmine Crockett, bachelor's, law school, JD, her Juris Doctorate, she's an attorney. But you got the yas sis and the yas queens standing at her beckon, riding with her. So I want you guys to look at this clip, or well, I guess like look at this series of clips of Jasmine Crockett, and maybe somebody in the chat can find some positivism out of this, and we'll talk about it.
And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it.
That while we may not have the numbers just yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
Sheesh. You know, I think we might run that back. Let's just run that back one more time. One more time. Let's hear all of this again.
And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it.
That while we may not have the numbers just yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel.
This is crazy.
If you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
Like I told y'all, these Negroes ain't afraid. They keep on doing this. Oh my God, I'm so scared of the white man. You ain't scared of the white man. Try again. You ain't scared of the white man. You're not. You're not scared of the white man. I mean, you can try and pull it off, but I'm not going for it. You're not scared of the white man. Not with this type of behavior, and it's just so unbecoming, because again, you got, you know, that stereotypes. They think that black women like this, or they think that black folks like this, but like whenever you get on the national and international stage and this is your behavior, I mean, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? If Jasmine Crockett was a Republican, I'd be calling her out the same way. Yes, whenever I go to the town hall, city hall, school board, whatever, yes, I might crack you, but I crack you professionally, you know. Like I told you guys when I started the show, when our commissioners, she always talked about her mama being a crackhead. I mean, what do you want me to do? You said it, not me. I didn't say it. You said it. I mean, so, you know, don't say it. You know, don't give the people more than what they need to know. But be respectful, you know, or I have as much decorum as you can. You know, you exercise your First Amendment right, whatever, but don't go too crazy. But Jasmine, man, she's a lot. So as we come near our close, I've been telling you guys since the start, the 18th congressional district. And not to forget, because I'm going somewhere with this, you got Al Green, you got Jasmine Crockett, Sheila Jackson Lee, she died. Yeah. Sylvester, he died. And if you were here with us last night, shout out to all of you that were. Whenever Trump began to speak and then they put the camera here, y'all remember last night I reacted like any great Texan would. Look at that shirt. You see, I know a lot of times you guys, y'all get annoyed with me, but it wouldn't just be me. It would ultimately be any Texan, because this photo right here is a fine example of all Texans. I do not care where we are, whether we are in Texas or Washington, D.C. or another country. Texans gonna always let you know. You're gonna feel it. We have our Lone Star State, and last night, whenever I was like, oh, Texas, excited, super excited about it. And then his dad stands up and you see that beautiful buckle. Let me make sure for those of you that don't understand, buckle, his belt is on his belt. Okay. And his cowboy hat. And then whenever you see him walk out, his cowboy boots. I'm going to explain something to you guys. Texas is hard red. It's a hard red state, and it has been for a very long time. I do remember earlier hearing them mention, you know, about Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. Yeah, I hear you. We get it. But even in the midst of those places, Texas is still hard red. Overall, we're still hard red here. And you'd be foolish to think that the only folks voting Republican in the state of Texas are white folks. You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong to think that. Very wrong. And the stronghold for all things good and red, a lot of us vote Republican. And one thing, well, I guess I say another thing that I enjoyed about this image, whenever the camera pointed on them, it's just like, man, I'm most sure, you know, they're out here calling this kid a coon, or Uncle Tom, his dad, whatever, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, listen, y'all can pull that mess with the other Negroes, but leave the Texan Negroes out of it, because you see, we were born, bred, and raised with the Texas ideology. It's within us. Yeah. It's not weird for us to see Black folks out and about in cowboy boots, hats, Texas flag shirts, don't mess with Texas, guns all over the place, because y'all know we're gun toting, and we just don't play no games. And so what they do not know and what they do not understand about the Black in Texas is, in Texas, we are the community and we are the culture of Texas. We're each other. My neighbor, hey, listen, you trying to come up in here? My neighbor got me, you know, because again, you know, we be strapped and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just so foolish to think, to even suggest, to even anything. But here we have this little boy, DJ Daniel. A story as beautiful as the sun that rises each day. The light it gives us. He was the light last night. How could you find any way to reject or detest this? Again, the 18th Congressional District. Sylvester died today. DJ Daniels' district is Sylvester's. But with the rhetoric that they spew, and with the actions that they showed us yesterday on last night, do you really love your people? Do you really love it? Do you really love your people? Do you really love Black people? I mean, because if I'm listening to what it is that you spew and what it is that you say, okay, cool, fine. Lake and Riley, white, you don't want to say nothing. The 12-year-old Hispanic girl that was brutally raped, dismembered, all sorts of things, fine, they're not Black. The white guy that was a hostage in Russia for 25 years, he's white, okay. But what about the Black kid though? Nothing? You have nothing? Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new...
You see that hat? That's a great hat. That's a great hat. I tell you what. Tell you what. The Democrats and their reactions to this, like I just told you guys a few minutes ago. I mean, yeah, if you want to give me an excuse as to why you didn't for the folks that were non-Black, but all y'all do is preach Black. That's what y'all do. All Black everything. That's what you preach. But you couldn't take a moment to step outside of yourself and your politics. This child, 13 years old, 13 surgeries, brain cancer. You can see his head. He's 13. And he has developmental issues because of how much surgery he's had on his head. So who's to say how much more he'll grow? I told you guys last night, whenever my babies leave in the 7th grade, listen, they leave for the summer and they come back 8th grade. Listen, I'm about ready to blow it all up and lose my mind over it. Because it's like, what happened to you? What is this facial hair? What's wrong with you? It's something, you know, and then too, like their voices get deeper. What's wrong with you? Talk regular, talk normal. But you have this little guy here, 13 years old, and he's small. I mean, that's why his dad picked him up. But you know, his disease. I thought that this was a beautiful moment. I did. I do. And the shock on his face, as well as his father's, it's a beautiful thing. And here I am thinking, as we're watching this live last night, I'm like, oh, this is all Black everything right now. Look at this. Nope. not the Democrats. And we had a caller that called in earlier that said, I don't give a damn about that little boy. I don't give a damn about that little boy. That's just propaganda. It's just Trump pandering. I mean, listen, people got time on their hands, I suppose, but I ain't got, listen, if I'm being real, I ain't got time to be pandering you over some black kid that have got 13 surgeries on his brain. I don't have time for that. Oh, it was premeditated. It was planned. It was a skit. That wasn't a skit. Calm yourselves down. It wasn't a skit. Okay. Like I said, out of all of the others, at least the black one, you would have thought they would. But they didn't. Here we have on the screen a beautiful white angel. And she's going to tell you about how she was an independent. You know what I'm saying? She felt this way. She felt that way. It was what it was. And she watched last night and she was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. What is the answer? The answer is no. Okay? This is what she said. Her words, not mine. We're just reporting the news.
Where do we start today, people? You guys are fired up. It's been hard to stay focused this morning because I've been going through all of your posts and you were fired up. I'll tell you this. If you are on the side where you wake up and Stephen Colbert is making fun of the Democrats, he went online and went to talk about, I really appreciated how the Democrats were holding up in protest at the address last night with their little paddles. He said, I wasn't sure if they were making a message or if they were bidding at an antique auction. And he said, I made my own paddle. I made my own message. And he held it up and it said, do something. That is the point. If you as a Democrat, if you as a liberal do not like what you see and you do not like what is going on, get up and do something about it. But here's where we're going to go. We're going to get right into this because I'm telling you what, this is where you lose me. This is where you lost me. I am an independent. I don't lean right. I don't lean left. I lean people. I vote people over party. And there's a reason that I do this. And so here's where you lost me and here's where you lose the people, Democrats. And here's why you keep losing these elections. This is why. You had 3 opportunities to stand up for Americans that had suffered in this country and you sat your asses down. Give me a break. Let's just start with DJ, the 10-year-old with cancer, who fought it, who beat it, and who has a passion and a desire to be a police officer. He was made an honorary Secret Service agent. It was one of the most heartwarming things I had ever seen. I couldn't contain myself. I couldn't help but crying. And to see a Secret Service man who, by definition, is just all hands off, right? We don't hug them. We don't touch them. We don't even get in their personal space. Literally lost it and embraced this little boy. Not one Democrat stood up. Not one. Not one. I'm so done with you people. Then you have Laken Riley's family. This woman was raped, murdered, and beat to shit dead. That's the facts and the reality of it by 2 illegal Venezuelans. No, I'm sorry, 1. It was the other girl that was beat by 2 illegal Venezuelans. This one was it Jose Ibarra. Came into this country illegally and was allowed into this country illegally. And he took the life of a young American nursing student. Why are you mad about this woman? You stand up for women's rights and you're not mad? You're not angry? You sit your ass down and you sit there because you're so pissed off at Trump? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then you have the family for Jocelyn Nunegray. 12 years old. My son is 12. Come at me. I'll cut you. 12 years old. Her life is over because of Venezuelan immigrants that came into this country. They raped her. They murdered her. He dedicated a refuge to her because she has a passion for nature. And you assholes sat down. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're on the wrong side of humanity. It's not about what side of the aisle you're on. You're on the wrong side of humanity. I don't give a shit about policy. I don't care about Ukraine right now. I don't care about the war. I don't care about the billions that we sent. 3 American children were being honored last night and you sat the down. I'm not okay with you. We are not the same. And if you want to unfollow me, go right the ahead. Go ahead. But if you are just as angry and you are just as pissed off as I am right now and you have had enough, follow the button. Let's be a community and let's start continuously speaking up because I am disgusted as an American. I have watched people sitting here going, I stand with Ukraine. Do so. Do so. I don't give a shit. You can stand with whatever country that you want. But if you are here in this country and you consider yourself a citizen, you also stand for the Americans. Nobody says you can't stand with or for Zelensky, whoever, whatever you want to do it. You'll never hear me say that you can't and shouldn't, but shame on you, you pieces of, for sitting down at the acknowledgement of those 3 children. You make me sick. You're a different kind of level of evil that I want no part of. And I'm telling you, you're guaranteeing a continual Republican ticket by doing this. Your hate for him should never supersede honoring Americans, especially those that died at the hands of open borders. What is wrong with you? I can't with any of you.
Oh.
So I'm telling you, get your shit together. Get your shit together because what you're doing is deplorable and disgusting. And I want no part of it. I want no part of it. And I'm ashamed of every single one of you. I'm done with you.
Wow. Hey, she said it. She said it, not me. She said it, not me. And independent. If you could just, for one moment, think to yourself, oh my gosh, like, how many people were impacted by this last night? Like, what did they think whenever they saw this? You know, politics to the side, like how many people, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever they were watching this, like, what were they thinking? That was a white woman, so you know, white folks, you have to listen to them when they speak, right? Yeah. But what were they really thinking? The Democrats had every opportunity in the world to do something kind of right, semi-right, any right. I even, like, last night, what I saw, it's just like, I even hate it for the Democrats. I ain't gonna lie. It's just like, God, dog. I hate it for them, but like, I love it for us because it's just like, oh, thank God. We don't have to worry about, like, you know, like the next election, the election after that, the election after that, the election after that, because it's just like, you're getting layups. Easy. It's cake. And you're not taking it. This defiance, this whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, hey, Al Green, if I were you, like I said, I would leave them Negroes alone. All of them. They left you hanging. Ow. They left you hanging. Yes. So, I mean, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I just, no. The answer is no. And so whenever it comes to discussions and issues about this, if I were Al, like, no, I'm not. Yes, I've been in this seat longer than Portia has been alive. I have. Before Portia was a thought. Portia, her brother, and her sister. However, I can't get down with the get down. I can't move and shake around folks like this. It's not in me, you know. I don't even want to make you guys think that it is, you know. But whatever they thought they were doing last night, that's not what they did. Yes, you don't like Trump, you hate him. You hate Elon Musk. You hate all the things that are going on with the executive orders, and you guys are saying all of these different things. Joe Biden did the same thing. Okay. he executive ordered his way through his presidency. Again, thank God for Jesus, because all of the things that Trump is set to do, has done, and will continue to do, he'll have the House and Congress, he'll have Congress and the Senate behind him. So I guess maybe if you guys were curious at all, you might ask, hey, like, did they take a poll like on the approval ratings? Now, I know that everybody doesn't get these text messages, and y'all are probably like, what poll? Who did they ask? They didn't ask me. And you know me, anytime they say something about Black folks, it's just like, I didn't get to answer. No, I'm not holding to it, because hey, I didn't get to answer. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that the same way, with the poll that I'm about to show you guys right now. However, we're running a show here. So in the sake of the show, let's see what mainstream media has gathered about, the citizens across the nation and what they thought, how they felt about last night. Let's see.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected. 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron. During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected. Wow. 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron.
Wow.
And I hope he's...
And, they've been in a place, ever since last night, like there's so many clips of everything. It's incredible. But to little DJ Daniel, and ask that God continues to keep you and cover you. And he continues to walk alongside you every day in his omnipotence. Little DJ Daniel, you have a story that the majority of Americans could never tell. They can never tell it. They'll never be able to tell your story, because they'll never experience it. But you're so special in that way, and you're so sharp. Oh my gosh, this kid, he's scissor sharp. The doctors told him, hey, you're about to be up out of here in a few months. But when the doctors are wrong, God is right. And his story, gosh, it just goes beyond politics for me. His cancer diagnosis wasn't a choice. He didn't ask to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't ask for that. So to see the reactions and to hear the reactions to Trump doing what he did, his cancer, it's not gone forever. For all we know, he could go into remission and he can end up dying in 2025. This year. I couldn't imagine carrying my baby for 9 months, having my child, and everything seems to be going right until it goes wrong. And 13 brain surgeries? I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine it. The only thing that I can think of, as I've been thinking about this since, last night, is I would need the strength of my husband to keep me at bay, to keep me from doing something that I would regret, harming myself, whatever the case may be. And or shouting and denouncing God Because why my baby? Why me? Why him? But this family, all of them are resilient. They're Texans, you know, it's in our DNA, it's in our blood. But out of all of the things that I saw last night, this is what stood out to me the most. The mistake of ignoring the American citizens and abandoning American patriotism. Little DJ is a prime time example of it. And even after all that we watched, and for those of you that have seen the address in full, and you got to see from start to finish what happened with Little DJ, this white woman here, who is a former Republican, she is not a current Republican. She renounced the Republican Party, withdrew, and joined the Democratic Party several years ago. This woman said this. Take a listen.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people. But I think this was...
Listen, for those of you that are here last night, this was the one that sent me over. Okay. He has credited over the last almost 5 years Trump for saving his life. This kid, 13 years old, he been singing the same song, saying the same thing. And the only thing you can think of is, I hope, if he finds himself in that position and he's trying to defend the Capitol, I hope he don't kill himself. I hope he doesn't commit suicide. I hope he doesn't get himself up out of here. It's moments like this where I'm like, hey, the black Republican, the black conservative is necessary. Read her like a book. Let me tell you. For those of you that know, y'all know I turn up sometimes. I'm keeping it tame. However, we do what? Bitch, what are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Yeah, like, oh God. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Like, it's so bad. It's that bad. Committing suicide? Like, why would you even, what are we doing here? Okay, you point and aim your gripes at your political opponents, but a kid, I hope he doesn't kill himself. I hope he doesn't commit suicide. Ma'am, Miss Lady Ma'am. Absolutely not. So Maxine, she had a few things to say. Here we have Maxine Waters when Trump questioned the 2016 election. It's so unpathetic to claim a campaign could be rigged. It's a slap in the face to African Americans. Maxine Waters in 2025 says, we don't know what Elon Musk rigged the election with his high technology ass. of course, her serving as not much of a difference between Jasmine Crockett. But let's check out Maxine from back then and today. I want to know what y'all think.
Saying the race was rigged. Are you concerned what that could do the day after?
Well, yes, I'm awfully concerned about this talk about this campaign being rigged. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump is trying to set up a scenario where when he loses, he's going to be able to say that it was taken from him, that the campaign had been rigged. And, you know, it's so unpatriotic for him to do this. For African Americans who have fought so hard to strengthen our democracy,
turned it over to him. And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology ass. We don't know what he's been accused of by some as it may relate to the election. But we're not going to give up in investigating and finding.
Saying the race was rigged. Are you concerned what that could do?
Grandmama Maxine. So it's election interference, it's election fraud with the African American Elon Musk. Okay, you know, pop off, talk your stuff, Maxine. You know, because we'll be listening. I have 30 seconds here. We have our results from the CNN Instant Poll, and this was. Oh wait, let me see. This was, oh gosh, March 4th. This was over 12 hours ago. Over 12 hours ago.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected. 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron. During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected, 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron. During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected.
You see, that's something else. Appropriate, 20% inappropriate, 80%. Folks, just like they did during the election, they made their voices heard, and they're doing the same thing. Like, they don't have time for it. Like, don't nobody want to see that in Congress. It's just not a good look. It's just not. It's not. Sorry. Not sorry. So guys, I am going to go ahead and, the volume. Oh, well, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Hopefully Stanley is listening, and I hope that he's already started Stanley versus the World, but if he hasn't, I hope he starts it soon. I am going to bed. Shout out to all of you that came through tonight. I know it was like last minute, unexpected, because I wasn't sure. But what's tomorrow, Thursday? Maybe, I'll be more, bitter energy and things like that tomorrow to talk about the topics that I have for you guys. But nonetheless, we thank you all for your time that you take out of your day, even while you're working, just to listen to us. For each and every one of you that have hit the Cash App, thank you so much. And shout out to Stanley, HB2Win, John Galt, Get Cracked. Y'all know how it goes. We will be back with Stanley versus the World. We will be back like we never left. Listen to me, because we never do. We'll catch you folks on the next one. Bye.
Feel like I should go. Feel like I should go. feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should feel like I should float.